Welcome everybody to a look at another Warner Brothers Archive Collection release, and alongside what we got from the likes of Action Jackson, we also got The Ice Pirates from 1984, directed by Stuart Rayfield, who also did the Philadelphia Experiment, although I'm fully aware that he's more well known for doing the film Tammy and the T-Rex. This is a comic science fiction film, clocking in at 94 minutes long. In the lead role you have Robert Urich, who was in the likes of Magnum Force, but in supporting roles, you have the likes of Angelica Houston, who was in the likes of The Witches, The Addams Family and Addams Family Values, and The Royal Tenenbaums. You also have Ron Perlman, who was in the likes of Hellboy and Hellboy 2, as well as The City of Lost Children, Blade 2, and Pacific Rim. So, in the not too distant future, where by far the most precious commodity in the galaxy is water, the last surviving water planet was somehow removed to the unreachable centre of the galaxy at the end of the Galactic Trade Wars. The galaxy is ruled by an evil emperor presiding over a trade oligarchy that controls all mining and sale of ice from asteroids and comets. So, although this comic science fiction film, which is essentially Mad Max by way of Star Wars, just to replace, the need for gasoline in Mad Max for ice, and the setting into a more sci-fi orientated setting, and then you basically got this film. And yeah, although it isn't consistently good, it is nonetheless an engrossing and entertaining effort, thanks to it throwing pretty much everything at the wall to see what sticks. So this means that there are plenty of positives, but also some negatives. Chief among which is that the majority of the comedy doesn't work, and it is lacking in characterization. That said, though, the production is varied and really rather quite inventive. It really does feel like a separate world to the likes of Star Wars. Yes, there are certain elements that are similar. You got cyborgs, you've got a lot of laser weapons, massive spaceships, and the like. But it does feel like it's in a bit of more of a grungy, more downbeat, and a more poverty-stricken kind of world rather than Star Wars, where everything looks well. For the most part, a lot of things look clean and well used. Yeah, whereas everything here looks like it's on its last legs in terms of still going in terms of cyborgs and stuff in particular, which just look like they've been mashed together. Now that could just be because the production didn't have that much money to play with. They did only have a $9 million budget, whereas Star Wars had in excess of what, 20 million or something like that. But it does feel like a more downtrodden world, whereas Star Wars, like I said, feels a lot more polished and such and such. So yeah, but it's also got a solid world building to it as well. Some of the cast is good, particularly Houston and Perlman. It is well paced. The action scenes are reasonably fun, and when the score isn't ripping off John Williams, as the opening score certainly does feel like a knockoff of the Star Wars theme, it is fairly well done. So yeah, on the whole, a reasonably good film, to be honest. But it is hard to get away from the fact that it does feel like Mad Max and Star Wars have had a baby, and this is the end result. But it is, still a fair bit more violent than Star Wars is. As it is rated at 15. You do get a head decapitation in this, for instance, which you're certainly not going to see in Star Wars. And that's why it's on the back says strong injury detail. Certainly strong when someone gets a head lopped off. Only extra on this is the trailer for the film. So, like with Action Jackson, fairly light on the extras on the disc, and obviously no extras in terms of the physical release. But still, the Blu-ray itself looks solid. It doesn't look bad or anything like that. The sound is perfectly reasonable as well. Obviously, it's not going to be up to the standards of films that have been, remastered or had the um, film negative scanned in 2K or 4K or anything like that. But it still looks reasonable. And yeah, on the whole, a reasonably entertaining film on top of that. So yeah, celebrating its 40th anniversary this year. I know some people have a more of a fondness for this film because they grew up with it. I didn't, so I'm looking at it from completely new eyes and no nostalgia involved. But even I still found it reasonably entertaining. 3 out of 5, as far as I'm concerned. But you could easily argue it down lower than that. Although some people would probably argue it up as well. So yeah, but nonetheless, if you have seen this film before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.